Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Expert Suck Sports Betting Podcast. I am Mike Day, and I am joined for the football podcast by Brad Thurman.
Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Hope you had a good day yesterday and
Yep.
enjoyed
Same
that.
with, same with you. I know you have a pretty cool tradition. Hope you guys
Yeah,
had a great time with that. But yeah, it was a nice quiet day, which I like, and some pretty good football games as well.
yeah. So, oh yeah, they were enjoyable. I mean, nothing like totally amazing from the NFL,
Well, when
but
the when the Kansas City Chiefs lose, that was that
yeah,
was
that's always good.
that was that made my day.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that mathematically eliminates.
No, it does not. There's still, I think, 13%
Dang.
probability. So, but it's getting lower by the week.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just checking something real quick for our listeners.
Well, and we're going to be checking scores throughout the podcast today because you and I have a live game going, and there's an NFL game going as well. That's halfway through the fourth quarter, and a little surprising score with Chicago, like the Bears. Who are they right now? That's
Yeah. Right.
That's pretty cool to see. Like,
They're
I'm
they're
not a
playing.
Bears fan. I'm not, like I'm indifferent, but Philadelphia has been up there uh, quite a bit the last couple of years. So I think it's kind of cool to see some new blood. Yeah, and so we've got
Yeah. I mean,
Chicago. We've got
I
Chicago.
believe
Oh,
if they
sorry.
hold, yeah, if they hold, then I think they at least get tied or something um, with Green Bay for the lead, right, in the division.
They should or be ahead because they're
Okay.
eight and
Sorry,
three.
Brad.
They're 8-3. So yeah, and they just went up by 2 touchdowns now with 6 minutes to go. So that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot going on this Friday. I'm sure plenty of people are watching some for whatever reason the pro game. I don't know if that's happened on a Friday before, but lots of college games going on as well. And it looks like you are
Yeah.
distracted. I don't know what you're doing over there. I never know what you're doing.
I'm trying to make sure that some of our listeners are finding the live feed. I told you I wasn't going to get into this, but now it concerns me. Okay, I texted Brandon to see if he's getting the live feed, which I get it on my YouTube. That's not this, so I don't. I know there's people that sometimes have difficulty finding the live stream from our YouTube channel, which it shouldn't be, because if you know how to do YouTube and log in, you should be able to get in pretty easily. So I'm gonna let. I know it's not an us error because I can see it on ours. I think it's a YouTube user error. Brandon just said, texted me, it popped right up. So I apologize for people that haven't got the experience on YouTube as far as like trying to find podcasts when they do live stream. Um, just maybe do a tutorial or something on that, but it's there and we know it's there because people watch. Okay.
Yeah.
So, introduction to the show, right? Because we got to do it. We are the Expert Suck Sports Betting Podcast, and Brad and I started this a season ago. This is the second season of this podcast, and I'm going to run through this so fast. What we do is we create a consensus of the experts' picks against, in college and pro football against the spread, and we pick 6 games for the contest that we're in. And we developed a criteria for that consensus of the experts. 65% or more of the experts have to be on one side of a game on a team. And then 75 experts have to be picking within that particular game to qualify for our pick slate. And then we pick the opposite of what the experts are picking in 6 games. And that's what we do. And then in the podcast, we review last week's games and then we give this week's picks. And we have some cool stats in between.
Yeah, you did that really well. Like, again, I think you could do that in your sleep now. So nice,
Got it down.
nice job setting up the show. But yeah, this is a weird week since it's a holiday week. Doing this on a Friday
On Friday afternoon.
when we already have a slate of games going. We've already made a pick already. I don't want to ruin it for that portion, but we already have one game being played right now, and we had a game last night that we've already done for this week. But yeah,
Yeah. So
why don't we jump
it's
in?
a cool week. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a cool week for football. It's difficult for podcasters. It's difficult for you and I as podcasters because we have family responsibilities and things like that. And we do like to put the show on Thursdays so everybody can see our picks before the weekend. And if we do pick a Thursday game, but this works. And I think most people have the day off on Friday, so hopefully they can join in. I do see we have one person joining in. They have not commented yet, but that's okay. As long as you're watching.
That's it.
Okay, so let's get into the Week 12 game review and how we did that particular week, which would have been last week.
Yeah, and we were not thrilled with last week, and we always say on this show, 3-3 is like what we aim for every week. Of course, we want to be 6-0, but 3-3 is kind of like our bare minimum. We were both a little hesitant last week. I was thinking it was a 1-5 or 2-4, so it feels like we actually won last week, being 3-3.
Yeah, yeah, and we had such a hard time last week picking those games that, I was a little surprised that we even got to 3-3, but when we finally did, that was great, and I think it was on our last game, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me bring up the cool slides and PSA. Sorry, those listeners that listen to the replay on Spotify, you don't get to see the cool slides, but we've been doing this for a while now, and this is how we review our picks. So here's the first one. I'm going to let you take this one, Brad, because it was your pick, basically.
Well, and yeah, I mean, we had talked about this. I think you thought I was a little crazy, but 88, and I think this might be the highest percentage of experts that were on a game in the last 2 years. I mean, we picked some that are around 80%, but I don't think we've ever been this close to the 90% mark. But 88% of the experts were on Arkansas State playing against Louisiana. Louisiana was a 2.5 point underdog, and that was Thursday night game. So Louisiana just went out and just won it outright, 34-30. And I don't know if you remember how I described it. I said I might be getting a little cocky right now, but it was kind of like the middle finger to the experts, like 88% of you or 90% saying Arkansas State was going to cover. And that's a green color. So
Yeah, right.
Looks like we backed it up, that middle finger.
Yeah, and an outright win. Not even like we didn't need any of the points.
No.
So we were definitely on the right side of that. And yeah, I mean, I think Louisiana's playing better. Their quarterback is definitely playing better than he was earlier in the season. So I don't know. I may have played them in my personal picks this week, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'll have to double check. But yeah, so feeling the Raging Cajuns for sure.
Absolutely.
So that was a good start. We always like to win on Thursdays instead of lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one, not so great, but still a pretty high percentage. And you may see another one too, but 78% of the experts were on UNLV against Hawaii, hosting the Rainbow Warriors. Hawaii was a 2.5 point underdog. This was a Friday game. Final score was 38-10. And I put Hawaii there, but that's wrong. That's UNLV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you and I were talking up how good Hawaii's offense is and was, and then they go out and do that. I mean, and don't even show up. A 10 point showing is not a prolific offense by any means. And against a UNL defense, it's just not good. I don't know what happened with Hawaii. I watched a tiny bit of that game, but not enough.
Yeah, I think I was out and about. I don't remember what I was doing on Friday, but I know I wasn't watching it, and thankfully I wasn't watching it because maybe Hawaii was up 7-0 or something. I'm like, okay, this is another great game. But that quickly went away, and it's like they just got killed. So it wasn't it wasn't close. If we're gonna lose one, I'd rather lose it like this than
Like
losing
by a half.
a point or a point.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever, Hawaii. I mean, maybe it's you just play Hawaii when they're on the island and
Yeah,
not on the mainland. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's a thing, but
yeah. I'll take another green one. So another 78% of the experts were on Fresno State. They were at home playing Utah State, and Utah State was a 3-point underdog. And lo and behold, Utah State won it outright again. They won 28-17. Utah State is playing really well right now, and that kind of led us to like I don't the line just seemed a little off to me and to us, and that's why we leaned the way we did. And yeah, another great win for us.
yeah. And I even said before we came on, I was looking at them. Um, they're beating Boise State right now, 14-10
Right?
in the second quarter, and I'm like, oh man, was that on our pick slate? Because that might not have been a bad one to pick, and it was not. So that's too bad because we've been kind of riding Utah State. I think we've picked them. That may be the second time we picked them or not,
Yeah.
but and I think that got them bowl eligible.
Yes. Yep.
It did. They're now 6-5, and if they
Yeah.
beat Boise State, they'll be 7-5. So, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
So nice. So good on the Aggies for us. Okay.
Looks like,
Then there's
looks
this.
like you get another red one.
Yeah, 65% of the experts are on Virginia Tech, the Hokies, hosting the Miami Hurricanes, and the final score of that game was 34-17. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Miami was giving 17 and a half points to Virginia Tech, and the final score was 34-17. So if you do that math, you can see that Miami did not cover by half a point.
Yeah, but and again, we talked about it right before the show. It's just slightly disappointing that Miami was up by 17 and a half and never got over that 17 and a half mark. Virginia Tech played better in the second half and scored a couple of touchdowns, but it was like they were never over. And then Virginia Tech, got a late touchdown to cover. But yeah, that one still never felt like we were going to win that one.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. It was close, but not in danger of us covering that. So yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I mean, Miami's still complaining that it should be higher in the rankings, but I mean, whatever. Then I don't know.
Well,
We'll see.
yeah,
They're going to have to find a way to get into the ACC championship for one, and then number two, they have to find a way to win the ACC championship. But
right.
the ACC is down; they're having a down year. I don't even whoever gets in the playoff from the ACCs maybe they'll exit in the first round.
Right.
So sorry,
Yeah,
ACC, but
I would agree.
yeah, that's you guys. That's an ACC problem, not a college football problem.
All right. Well, let's get to the fifth game. So we had 65% of the experts on Tulane going to Temple, and Temple was an 8.5-point underdog. Yeah, another one of these yawners for us where it was never really close for us. The final score was 37-13 Tulane. Yeah, Temple, again, they just couldn't stop them and couldn't get anything going offensively at home. So again, one of these that didn't really have to watch it. It was just over at the beginning.
Yeah, and you and I felt like last week that Temple had been playing better, which, yeah, I guess by Temple standards they were, but not by like Tulane. And even this week, and you said before we came on, you're glad you talked me out of taking Temple
Yeah,
plus 20.5 against North Texas because they're already getting beat by 28. So Temple is, like I just said, they're better for them as a program, but they're still not good enough to compete within their conference
Right.
against the North Texases of the world and the Tulanes of the world. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I got a little carried away with some of the recency bias on
Yeah.
Temple. But yeah, thank you for vetoing that this week.
Well, again, it's still not, it's still have a whole second half, and Temple scored to get it down to 21. But with North Texas's offense, they're already on the other side of the 50 and driving. So I'm sure North Texas will score again here shortly. They
Yeah,
just
right.
have one of the top offenses going.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. Talk about a prolific offense.
yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So last but not least, and it is a green one, which is great. 68% of the experts were on the New England Patriots at the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bengals were a home underdog. So they were getting 6.5 at home. And the final score of this game was 26-20. Patriots win, but a Cincinnati Bengals cover by a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, who day?
It feels like, I don't know. It feels like we kind of got lucky with this one, just because Cincy's defense is not great, but they second half, like, they were holding New England to field goals. So that, again, we got lucky, I believe, that New England didn't score touchdowns in like the fourth quarter. So we'll take the victory.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and it's weird because now, even yesterday, the Bengals played so good. They got Burrow back, but their defense played good. Like yesterday, their defense really showed up, got after the quarterback.
Well, I think there's some of that, but I don't know. Like, people are still talking about the Ravens as if,
Ravens are not good.
well, and Lamar Jackson, like, what the? And I watch him because he's on one of my fantasy teams. And the last 3 weeks, basically since he came back from that injury, has been awful. It's like, what is happening? He takes so many sacks now, and his accuracy is awful. He hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in I don't know how many weeks. Just really frustrating. But yeah, the Bengals defense was getting after him, and I think people have watched some film and know how to get after him now.
Yeah, and that has been brought up, I think, on the telecast of some of the Ravens games, that people have kind of figured out how to kind of contain Lamar from running. Number one, and then mixing things up and confusing him on some of the pass protection or pass coverages
Yep.
and blitz schemes. He's just there's been some regression definitely on Lamar, that he hasn't played up to an MVP caliber this year at all. So
No, not at all. But
good on us to take the Bengals when Lamar, or no, this was the Patriots, but yeah, when they were on the rise, we caught that Bengal rise, the first part of it.
Yeah, it's Cincy is one of those teams where kind of glad they started the way they did, because if that's one of those teams, if Joe Burrow is playing well with Chase, and if Higgins comes back, like that's a scary team to be playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, and if they can develop some type of pass rush, then look out. I mean, they played good yesterday, so I was impressed by that. They just kind of dominated the Ravens. I don't know how much of that is just the Ravens' futility, but we'll find out, because there's a few more games before the playoffs start. So,
Yep.
All right, now we have the super cool year-to-date stats for all of our picks and whatnot. So we'll get to the first one. You can take this one right here, Brad.
Well, with being 3-3, our season total, we're still 20 games above 500, so we're 46-26. And we only dropped a percentage. Last week we were at 65%, and this week we just dropped to 64. So, like I said, this far into the season, being 64% win rate with what we have to deal with week in and week out, betting against the experts. Every time I talk to someone about this, I don't know if it's the same for you. They're like, "So how are you guys doing?" I'm like, "What do you think we would be doing?" Generally speaking, people guess that we're 20 to 30% win rate.
That's insane.
They are floored when I tell them we were at 65% or over 60%. Like, are you kidding me?
Do you ever tell them, like, if you were ever you're taking, and we'll get to this statistic too, but if you were just taking blindly all the sides of the expert
Yeah.
side, like going against the experts, what it would be. I bet they're surprised by that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we talk about it all the time. How these people that are the quote unquote experts, this is what they do for a living, and they look at stats and they look at algorithms and they look at weather, like they look at all that stuff
yeah,
to make their picks. And again, it's just crazy to me when we've got like that game last week that we picked, and 88% of them were on one side, and they not only did they not cover, but they just lost outright. So
yeah, yeah.
that happens quite a bit.
Yeah, and here this statistic is of so all we only pick those games that qualify, like I said at the start of the show. So it's not the full pick slate, like 175 or whatever games there are every week, college and pro. It's only a limited number, typically about 24 games for Brad and I to choose from. But if you were taking all of those games and just blindly putting a wager on the expert suck side going against the experts, you would be 158, 136, and 2 for the season through week 12. And that's a 54% win rate. So the experts would be at 46%. So, like you said, if you're talking to somebody, they would never believe that.
Right. No, and again, I wouldn't either, because I don't know how everyone makes their picks every week. I do some research, and I'm swayed by those experts as well, because it's like, if I see 3 in a row that are all saying kind of the same thing, I'm like, yeah, well, if they're saying it, it must be true. So let me pick it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
where
I know. It's
here's
interesting.
a couple bullet points where our personal picks are, they've gotten better, but they're not great.
Right.
But yeah, we keep track again of the highest percentage game in our docket that we pick every week, and we're on a roll. I think we're 5 or 6 games in a row. So now we're 8-5. So good percentage of us, picking those high percentage games.
Yeah, because I think we started out 0-3, and then
0-3.
we won like 2 and then lost 1 or whatever. And yeah, you're right. I think we've gone like 5 in a row now where
Yep.
we've hit that top highest percentage game. So, and like you said, this week, 88%, that's probably the highest we've ever picked against and won. Okay, here's our personal head-to-head bet results year to date, season to date. I did pick up one game, Brad?
2. No,
2 games.
I think you were down by 2. So I think you picked up 2 games.
Yeah, so I went 5-1 last week with a very frustrating loss on the last one to go 6-0. I had the Seattle Seahawks at the Tennessee Titans, and the Seahawks were what, a 13.5-point favorite?
Yeah.
And I think going into the fourth quarter, they were up by 20 and proceeded to give up a punt return for a touchdown and then another touchdown to only win by 6. Like, Seattle.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like rooting for them to lose, like we always do. If you don't cover, you have no business winning the game.
Especially when you're 5-0, and this, like you were sleeping on 5-0, and you were watching that game. And for the record, I know you were pissed at me because I texted you that morning saying, let's go Seahawks, but it was like 2 hours before the game. So it wasn't like at halftime that I said.
Pissed is a strong word. I was what I think the analogy I gave was like, you don't talk to the pitcher when he's throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah, I thought you were a little dramatic with that one. Again, like, it's one thing. It's one thing if it was like, again, halftime or going to the fourth quarter. If I'm like, you've got this, then that would have been a jerk move. But again, I said it like first thing in the morning, 2 hours before, so that had no impact on the outcome. I swear.
Yeah. Seattle had every impact on the outcome. They decided they just weren't going to score anymore. It's just like, hey, you guys, even if you get up 20, you can still score. You can kick field goals at least, whatever.
But I do want to shout out to my son. He doesn't mind that I mention his name, but Blake, who is a follower of the show, he got his first 6-0.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And
That was
yeah,
a bit of a sweat, though.
oh yeah, he had two pro games on Sunday that were a sweat, and the last one was the Kansas City Chiefs game. Um, and who were they
That
playing?
went to overtime, right? That wasn't the Dallas? That was who was that before? The week before Dallas.
I
I
can't
have it.
now.
I
Now
have
I
it.
don't even have it. But anyway, um, yeah, it was one of those where Kansas City won on a field goal, but it was a
It's
three
the
and a.
Colts. It was the Colts.
That's what it was. But yeah, the Chiefs were driving down in the fourth quarter, and if they would have scored a touchdown, they would have been up by 4, a half point over, and yeah, the Colts stopped them to kick a field goal to tie it. So once the Colts punted in overtime and gave it to the Chiefs, unless there was some weird fluke touchdown play, typically teams will go down there and kick a field goal, and that's what happened. So Blake won it by that half point. So congrats to him for winning his first pick six.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good on him. So
Yep.
that's always a good feeling um, to do that because it's not as easy as people think it is. All
No,
right. So
no,
here's what I was talking about before the show. You like this?
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So this is the little thumbnail week 13 preview picks. And what I told Brad I do on the YouTube channel is I've been doing this as like a placeholder, a thumbnail to describe the show or hold the show, let people know what week we're doing and everything. And I usually like to tease a little bit by like one player. So some people may recognize that. I know some of our listeners will, and some of our viewers will recognize who this player is. But uh, I'll touch on him when we get to the next slide. Or no, not the next slide. It's about 3 slides from now.
Right.
So these are our week 13 picks. Like Brad said, we had one on Thursday night, then that may be upcoming, and we have one that's in progress. So let's just jump in. And yeah, you go with this one, Brad, because it might
Well,
be.
it's going on right now, and I keep looking down at my phone.
Brandon just came into the quote unquote studio basement and shouted, "Go Irish!" I don't know
So a
if
little
I say it
My
foreshadowing.
right.
love for Heisman. Let's go.
We're not to that pick yet.
Uh,
a
well,
Brandon Day sighting.
so our first pick, well, not of the week, but the first pick that we're talking about, 71% of the experts are on Georgia Tech playing Georgia. Georgia's a 14-point favorite. And these kind of scores always scare you. That 7-point, 3-point, 14-point, and right now the game is in play. Georgia's up by only 7 with 2.5 minutes to go in the third. They just got a first down, but if they drive down and score, they're at that 14-point mark, which again is a little scary if we tie it. But yeah, Georgia's defense is playing great. They just held them again to another field goal. So as long as Georgia Tech cannot score a touchdown, we can get Georgia to get down there in the next couple of minutes and score a touchdown. I feel pretty good in the fourth quarter that they can get one more touchdown and we can cover.
Yeah, I mean, if they can trade 2 touchdowns for 1 Georgia Tech field goal, then we're kind of good. Then that would be like a 27-9 game or 27
Yep.
12 game. And I think, so Georgia Tech just hold them to field goals, score a couple more touchdowns, and we should be good on that one.
Good.
Okay, the next one is 71% also. So I think these are the 2 highest games we have this week. So we're going to have a two high pick again, like we did before. But 71% of the experts are on SMU, Southern Methodist, at Cal. And Cal is a home underdog. Cal is getting 13.5. Yeah, SMU hasn't been playing great. I think they had a pretty good game last week, but they're not as dominant as they were last year.
No.
Cal getting points at home. Cal can play good at times. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build this up a little bit for Cal, but I think
Trying
two
to talk
touch,
yourself into it.
yeah, 2 touchdowns for SMU to beat Cal. I'll take that. I mean, that's gonna be tough for them.
Well, yeah, I think what swayed me was that Cal is at home, and SMU's defense isn't the best, so that just lends for staying within 2 touchdowns. If Cal can just play better than they did last week, I think that was the Stanford, which you know I think on my personal picks killed me. So I just hope they play a little bit better than they did last week and just expose SMU's not great defense and just stay within that 2 touchdowns at home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cal's a bit of an up and down team. SMU, yeah. So I just like getting home points too.
Yeah.
So that's always good. Here we go.
So 1-0 for the week. This game has already happened, but 68% of the experts were on Memphis uh, playing Navy. And this was last night's game. Navy was a 3.5 point underdog. I, I, I think they won by Navy won by double digits. Let me look at the score here. Yeah, Navy won by 11. Their defense played great, and their offense did just enough. So again, 68% of the experts were thinking Memphis was going to cover, more than a field goal, and Navy just beat them outright.
Yeah, and one of the good things that and I was kind of handicapping this game on was that Horvath was back for Navy. I think he's been back the last 2 weeks, but again, getting into the swing of things, fully healthy. That's the Navy quarterback, and he did. He played really good yesterday, rushing the ball. I think he scored at least one or two, and he also throwing the ball had
Yeah.
a great day.
Yes, he did.
So yeah, Memphis has dropped off, and Memphis may be a little bit banged up as well. But yeah, it's just one of those Thanksgiving Day traditions when like Navy does play. It's usually another service academy
Right.
that they're playing, but they step up for both big games like that and then their bowl games. So that was good on Navy to see them, the midshipmen, get that win. I'm gonna let you do. Wait, I'll do this one, then you have the next one. I want to do the last one if you don't mind.
Oh, go for it.
But we have a lot to talk about on that one as well. So this one, 65% of the experts are on the Purdue Boilermakers hosting the Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana is undefeated and second ranked in the nation. And some people feel like they're the top ranked team in the nation, but we shall see this weekend. This weekend determines a lot.
Yeah.
Probably not this game because I don't see Indiana losing this game outright because they are a 28.5 point favorite today. That's later today, right?
Yes.
Later this evening.
Yep.
So, and Curt Cignetti, the head coach of Indiana, just is in the business of rolling these really bad underdogs because he gets how the committee looks at these things. And he just doesn't care. He's out to he's on a tear. He's out to prove a point every week. I mean, they got past Penn State, not necessarily luckily, but with a fantastic play at the end. But
Right.
they should, if they don't beat Purdue by 30, something's wrong. Something had to have gone terribly wrong. Mendoza's a Heisman candidate. I mean, it all just adds up.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it is a big number, and you have to be over 4 touchdowns. But the way they've been playing, we both agreed. As soon as I saw this one, I'm like, I know it's a big number, but with the way they've been rolling people, like you said, let's just continue to roll with them against the crappy Purdue team.
There's a chance that Indiana shuts them out too. So 35-0 is in the realm of possibilities.
Well, the last 2 games, you have a few connections to. So, but I'll take this one. So 65% of the experts are on Tennessee playing at home versus Vandy, and Vandy's a 2.5 point underdog. Tennessee.
Go Diego! Go Diego! Go!
Tennessee has just been one of those, just like a lot of these college teams are just up and down, and you never know which one's going to show up.
Is this somebody you know, Brad?
No, I don't. I don't know who that is. Who's
Oh! I
was that
think I
our-
do know who this is. This may be our new good friend in Nashville, Daniel.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Heck yeah, Vandy. Let's
I-
go.
I think
Let's go, Commodores.
Yeah, I think we picked against Tennessee earlier in the year, and one of our listeners wasn't too pleased with that, and we proved
that
them
was
wrong.
Preston in Nashville.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of a Nashville contingent
Yes, we do.
paying attention to the show. So yeah, let's go, Diego. Man, I would love Diego to just like be responsible for like 6 touchdowns again and just like have a Heisman moment in this game. So that's John Mooney checking in. Hey, John. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be great. Yeah, let's go Commodores. Get that win, that big win over the Vols.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
again, this one, you wanted Temple, and I'm like, Temple, I can't do it. And so far, that's proven right.
Yes.
I know you like to stay away from your team, but I'm like, I have more faith in this one, their offense, than I do Temple's defense. So why don't you tee this one up?
Yeah. So 65% of the experts are on Stanford, the Cardinal. Cardinal's a tree, not a bird. Hosting the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And Notre Dame is a 32.5-point favorite.
Ugh,
So
big number.
you see that number 4 on that first slide? That's Jeremiah Love, Heisman candidate, running back for Notre Dame. We need him to go for, 200 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I was going to say, let's match his number and get him 4 touchdowns.
The interesting thing about him, there you go. You know what? Enough said. But they do have to cover by 5, right? Touchdowns. So the other guy, the other running back, or maybe CJ Carr throws one, he just spreads it around, spread the love, spread the cheer. And the Irish get out of there with like a 41-3 victory.
Yeah, always when it's on the road, it's always scary because teams play a little bit different, when they're at home. But Notre Dame is just rolling right now, and Stanford has been playing better. That's why I was a little hesitant, but we were really struggling coming up with that 6th game. And like I said, you were on Temple. I kept coming back to Notre Dame. So
yeah, and I think I even texted that to you. I said, well, what game do you keep landing on?
Yep.
And you said Notre Dame, and you asked me the same question. I said Temple. So far, you are correct, sir. So
Well,
let's keep that going.
yeah, they haven't even kicked off yet. So far I'm right. But the Temple game is, it's not going well for Temple right now.
Yeah, and I believe the Notre Dame Stanford game is not the last game of the night, but it's the 8:30 game. Wyoming Hawaii is the last game of the night, but yeah, it's going to be 8:30 p.m. our time, Notre Dame Stanford. So yeah, cheer.
You're gonna have to stay up past your bedtime.
I'm gonna cheer for old Notre Dame.
All right. Well, let's recap.
Oh, we should recap.
Yep. So we have 2 of our highest games are at 71%. The first one is Georgia Tech is favored over, not favored, but the experts are favoring them over Georgia, which is going on right now. Georgia is a 14-point favorite. Georgia, they just kicked the field goal, so now they're up by 10. So that 14-point, is maybe not possibility now. Of course, it's a possibility, but hopefully will not be happening right at 14. So second game, another 71% of the experts are on SMU going to Cal. Cal is a 13.5-point underdog. So let's go Golden Bears. 68% of the experts are on Memphis. They were on Memphis, but we shut that door. So Navy covered that 3.5-point spread. So we are 1-0 to start the week. Go Mike and Brad.
Right.
Game 4, 65% of the experts are on Purdue at home versus Indiana. Big point spread. Indiana's a 28.5-point favorite tonight. Today is Friday. So let's go Hoosiers. Tomorrow we've got a couple of games. 65% of the experts are on Tennessee playing at home versus Vandy. Vandy's a 2.5-point underdog. So again, let's go Vandy. And finally, another big game, point spread wise. 65% of the experts are on Stanford at home again, playing against Notre Dame. Mike's Irish.
Irish.
32.5-point favorite. I've had really good luck with Notre Dame this year covering these big point spreads. So I'm feeling good about this one. And as people who listen to the show know, I'm not a fan of Notre Dame, but tomorrow I will be. Huge fan.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame defense playing good right now, which was one of their question mark parts of their game, and their offense is putting up what was that game the other time 70-7.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, they are explosive. I think they have one of the best running back tandems in the nation with Jeremiah Love and Brandon's help me out, B. Jadainian Price.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had two running backs.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Jadarian Price. Sorry. Oh yeah, Jadarian Price. While he's not as good as Jeremiah Love, he is gonna be. So they're just gonna keep rolling. So get those guys going, Marcus. Get the crowd excited. Take Stanford out of it. Just keep rolling into the playoffs.
All right. Well, again, it's good to start 1-0. We might be 1-1 by 30 minutes from now. Georgia Tech has the ball again. Just got a first down. So come on, Georgia, please.
How much time's left?
There's still 13 minutes, so we've got a lot of time, but we're still not covering yet. So that's what worries me. We need
so we need a stop, and we need a touchdown.
Yes.
Because if they go 19-6, that math is not mathing
it's
to 14 points.
No,
that's not going to be enough. So we need to stop. We need to stop and a touchdown. Okay. 12 minutes.
But you're saying there's a chance. So
you're saying there's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well, as I already
told
Brad, before the show, I'm already down. I missed the Utah game today in our personal picks, so I'm already out of it for the Tar Heels. The Tar Heels pick.
Oof.
Or my profile anyway. That's my profile name. So missed it by a half a point. So that was not a good way to start my weekend. But yeah, good luck to you on that.
Well, I have this game. I have the Georgia game.
Oh,
that's my first personal pick. So come on, Bulldogs. I don't usually root for them. Oh, geez. Georgia Tech just completed a big, 18 yards. Now they're across. They're at the 45.
Okay.
No, they're at the 40. Yikes. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for jumping in on a Friday afternoon after Thanksgiving. Thanks for everybody that joined the show and watched live on YouTube. If you are watching us or going to our YouTube page, please hit the subscribe button and the like. There's a thumb. Hit that little bell button because that'll notify you when we go live with all of our shows, Tuesdays and Thursdays typically. And then if you are listening to the replay on Spotify, be sure to hit follow, like, give us a 5-star rating. Please, we appreciate it. And then share. Both times you can share the YouTube page, you can share the Spotify, but send it to somebody you love, somebody that you know loves sports. And yeah, like we say every week, Brad, we're growing. We'll be here. We like doing this for our own entertainment and for fun. And then when everybody just chooses to watch us, we'll keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. So another good start to the week. Hopefully in the next 30 minutes, we'll have some more good news, even though Georgia Tech is driving right now, but turnovers can happen against the defense. So
the texts will be flying between me and Brad. They always are.
Yes, they will.
So all right. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck to everyone. And we will talk to you next week.
We'll catch you next week. Thanks,
Bye.
Brad.
See ya.